The arrival, it was a cold night in New Delta City. The streets were empty, and heavy rain made everything dark and shiny. In the far corner of the city, behind some old factories, something strange happened. A bright blue light appeared in the sky. For a few seconds, it looked like a falling star, but it was not a star. It crashed quietly in the muddy ground, and no one heard it, except Alex. Alex was a simple man. He lived alone in a small house at the edge of the city. His neighbors didn't talk to him much, and he didn't talk to them. He worked as a mechanic, fixing old machines and earning just enough to live. That night, Alex was sitting near his small window, drinking hot tea and looking outside. He saw the blue flash in the sky and felt something was wrong. He put on his old coat and picked up his flashlight. He walked out into the rain, following the light. The cold wind made him shiver, but he kept walking. When he reached the factories, he saw something lying in the mud. He moved closer, shining his flashlight. What he saw made his heart stop. It was a girl, but not a human girl. She had glowing blue skin, shiny silver hair, and big silver eyes. She was wearing strange clothes, torn and dirty. She looked weak and scared. Her hands were shaking, and she was trying to move away. Alex could see that she was hurt. He raised his hand slowly and spoke softly. "I will not hurt you. It's okay." The alien girl looked at him with wide, fearful eyes. She tried to speak, but only a soft, broken sound came from her mouth. Alex noticed a small cut on her lips and some bruises on her arms. For a moment, Alex did not know what to do. He thought about calling for help, but he remembered how people in the city talked about aliens. They didn't trust outsiders. Some even said aliens were dangerous and should be used for their own benefit. Alex looked at the girl again. She was clearly afraid and alone. Without thinking more, Alex carefully picked her up. She was very light, almost like a child. The rain washed the mud off her blue skin. As he carried her, her eyes slowly closed, and she fainted in his arms. Alex hurried back to his house, looking around to make sure no one was watching. He opened his door and brought the girl inside. His house was small, only 2 rooms, but it was warm and safe. He put her on the couch and covered her with a clean towel. He found his old first aid kit and gently cleaned the wounds on her arms and face. The girl opened her eyes for a moment. She saw Alex and tried to sit up, but she was too weak. Alex spoke softly. "You're safe now. No one will hurt you here." The girl looked at him with confusion and a little hope in her eyes. She did not speak, but she did not try to run again. Alex gave her some water to drink. She drank slowly, her hands shaking. He offered her some bread, but she only took a small bite. She was clearly hungry, but too tired to eat much. Alex sat beside her, trying to make her feel calm. Outside, the rain fell harder. The city was quiet, but Alex knew it would not stay quiet for long. News traveled fast in New Delta City. Someone might have seen the blue light, or seen him carrying someone home. Alex felt a strange fear, but he also felt responsible for the alien girl. He could not leave her alone. The girl soon fell asleep, breathing softly. Alex watched her, wondering who she was and why she came here. He saw that her clothes were different, made of a fabric he had never seen before. She had a strange necklace with unknown symbols. Alex tried to guess her story, but there were too many questions. Hours passed. The rain finally stopped. Alex stayed awake, listening to every sound. He felt like something big was about to happen. He remembered the fear in the girl's eyes and promised himself that he would protect her. No matter what. In the darkness, Alex realized that his life was about to change forever. He did not know if helping the alien girl was a good idea, but he knew it was the right thing to do. He did not care what others would say. For him, kindness was more important than fear. As morning came, the alien girl opened her eyes again. She looked at Alex with a little more trust. Maybe she felt safe. Maybe she felt hope. But Alex knew that this was just the beginning. The sun was just rising when Alex woke up. He rubbed his eyes and looked at the couch. The alien girl was still there, but now she was sitting up, looking around his small house. She looked scared, confused, and tired. Her silver eyes watched every corner of the room, searching for danger. Alex tried to smile, hoping to make her feel safe. He moved slowly so she would not feel threatened. He brought her a cup of warm tea and placed it on the table in front of her. The girl stared at the cup for a long time, unsure what to do. Then, with shaky hands, she picked it up and took a small sip. She seemed surprised by the taste. Alex spoke gently. "You're safe here. My name is Alex." He pointed at himself and repeated, "Alex." He waited, hoping the girl would tell him her name. She looked at him, then pointed to herself and said, in a soft, strange accent, "Lyra." Her voice was almost a whisper. Alex was happy. At least now he knew her name. He tried to ask her where she was from, but she did not understand. She shook her head and looked down, as if remembering something sad. Alex did not push her for answers. He could see she was still frightened. Outside, the city was waking up. Cars started moving on the streets. People were going to work. But inside Alex's house, it was quiet. He gave Lyra some bread and fruit. She ate slowly, watching Alex carefully, like a wild animal trying to trust someone for the first time. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door. Lyra jumped in fear and hid behind the couch. Alex's heart raced. He opened the door a little. It was his neighbor, Mrs. Reed. She was an old lady who liked to gossip. "Alex, I saw you out late last night. Everything okay?" she asked, peering inside. Alex smiled nervously. "Yes, Mrs. Reed, just fixing something in the shed." Mrs. Reed looked around, her eyes sharp. "You should be careful. Strange things are happening these days." She leaned closer. "If you see anything odd, you should tell the city police." Alex nodded quickly. "Of course, Mrs. Reed. Thank you." He closed the door and locked it. He knew he had to be careful. If anyone found out about Lyra, they might call the police or worse. After the neighbor left, Lyra came out slowly from behind the couch. Alex sat down beside her and spoke gently. "You don't need to be afraid. I won't let anyone hurt you." Lyra looked at him, her eyes full of worry, but she tried to smile a little. Time passed slowly that morning. Alex turned on the small radio to hear the news. There was a report about a strange light seen in the city last night. The radio host said, "If anyone sees anything unusual, contact the authorities." Alex turned the radio off. He did not want Lyra to worry more. He found some old clothes in his closet and gave them to Lyra. She looked at the clothes, confused, but tried to put them on. The clothes were too big, but she managed to wear them. Alex helped her tie the sleeves so they would fit better. She looked a little less like an alien now, but her blue skin and silver eyes still made her stand out. Alex thought about what to do next. He knew he could not keep Lyra hidden forever. But for now, he had to protect her. He told her, "You can stay here as long as you need." Lyra did not speak, but her eyes said thank you. Later in the day, Alex made some soup and shared it with Lyra. She seemed more relaxed now. She even looked at some old family photos on the wall. Alex showed her a picture of his parents and smiled. Lyra smiled back, just a little dot. As night came, Alex closed all the curtains and checked the locks on the doors and windows. He gave Lyra a blanket and let her sleep on the couch again. Before going to bed, Alex whispered, "Good night, Lyra. You're safe." Lyra looked at him with tired eyes. She tried to say something, but only managed a quiet, "Thank you." That night, as Alex lay in bed, he thought about everything that had happened. He was scared, but he also felt a strange hope. For the first time in years, he did not feel alone. He knew he had to protect Lyra, no matter what. Outside, the city lights shined in the dark. Inside, two lost souls shared a small, warm home hiding from a world that would never understand them. The next morning, Alex woke up early. He quietly went to the living room to check on Lyra. She was awake, sitting on the couch, holding the blanket close. Her silver eyes followed every small sound, always alert, as if danger could come at any moment. Alex smiled and made some breakfast. He gave Lyra a piece of toast and an apple. She ate slowly, sometimes looking at the window, sometimes looking at Alex. Even after a full day inside his house, she still seemed afraid. Alex wanted her to feel safe, but he knew trust takes time. Suddenly, a strange sound came from outside, voices, loud and angry. Alex went to the window and looked out carefully. A group of people were standing in the street. They were talking about the strange blue light from 2 nights ago. Some said it was a spaceship. Others thought it was an alien. A tall man shouted, "If anyone is hiding something, the city police will find out." Alex felt a chill. He turned off the lights and asked Lyra to stay away from the windows. She nodded and hid behind the couch again, just like before. Later that day, there was another knock on Alex's door, harder and louder this time. Alex opened the door just a little. 3 city police officers stood outside. Their uniforms looked sharp and cold. Behind them, a few neighbors watched, whispering to each other. "Good morning, sir. We are looking for information about a possible alien in this area," the officer said in a serious voice. "Have you seen anything strange?" Alex shook his head, trying to look calm. "No, officer, nothing strange here. Just me and my work." The officer looked inside the house, scanning every corner. "May we come in and look around?" Alex's heart started racing, but he tried to stay brave. "Of course," he said. He moved aside, letting them step in. The police walked slowly through his small house. They checked every room, opened the closet, even looked under the table. One officer stopped near the couch where Lyra had hidden before, but she was gone. Alex tried not to show his fear. After a long minute, the officers found nothing. They turned back to Alex. The officer said, "If you see anything unusual, you must report it. Harboring aliens is a crime. Remember, we're watching this area closely." Alex nodded quickly. "I understand, officer." When the police left, Alex closed the door and locked it. He called softly, "Lyra?" From behind a pile of boxes in the storage room, Lyra slowly came out. She looked scared but safe. Alex let out a sigh of relief. He went to her and whispered, "You did great. It's okay now." Lyra's eyes were full of fear. She looked at Alex, her voice trembling. "Danger... more coming?" Alex was honest. "Maybe, but I'll protect you, I promise." That night, Alex heard more bad news on the radio. City patrols were searching for aliens. Anyone who helped an alien would be in trouble. The city was scared, and people were quick to judge. The next day, Alex went to the market for supplies. He tried not to look nervous. People were talking everywhere about the alien. One man said, "If I find that creature, I'll get a big reward." Another woman said, "Aliens bring only problems. They must leave." Alex bought some food and hurried home. When he entered, he saw Lyra peeking out from the window. She quickly stepped away as soon as she saw him. Alex put the food on the table and said, "We need to be careful." "People are looking for you," Lyra nodded. She wanted to help, so she started cleaning the small house. She was quiet but tried to show she was thankful. Alex watched her and felt sad. He wished things were different. He wished people were kinder. Later that evening, as the city got quiet, Alex heard a noise outside, a soft tap on the window. He went to look and saw a shadow move in the alley. Alex closed the curtain quickly and told Lyra to hide. Minutes later, someone threw a rock at his door. Alex's heart raced. He waited, but nobody came inside. The neighborhood was starting to feel dangerous. That night, Alex and Lyra talked using simple words and gestures. She told him, home far, bad people hurt me, I run. No family. Alex understood. He felt angry for her, and more protective than ever. He promised her again, you are not alone now, Lyra, I will help you. Outside, the city was growing colder and meaner. Inside Alex's small house, hope was still alive. But Alex knew worse trouble might be coming soon. That night, Alex could not sleep. He sat near the window, watching the empty street outside. His mind was full of worry. The city was searching for Lyra. More police and neighbors were becoming suspicious. Alex knew he could not keep her hidden much longer. He needed to find a way to help her escape. Inside the house, Lyra was awake too. She sat quietly on the couch, hugging her knees. She looked at the door, then at Alex, and then at the door again. Alex could feel her fear, and it made him even more determined to help her. In the morning, Alex made some breakfast. Lyra only ate a little. She seemed tired and sad. After breakfast, Alex sat next to her and took a deep breath. He spoke slowly. So Lyra could understand, you cannot stay here. It's too dangerous. We need to go somewhere safe, somewhere far. Lyra looked at him, her silver eyes big and shining. Where? She asked softly. Alex thought for a moment. He remembered a small, empty cabin in the woods far from the city. He used to visit there with his parents when he was a child. No one went there anymore. It could be a safe place for Lyra. He explained his plan with simple words and hand movements. We go to forest. Safe house, no people, no police. Lyra listened carefully. She was scared, but she nodded. Before leaving, Alex packed some food, water, and a warm blanket in a bag. He found a hat and an old scarf for Lyra to wear, hoping they would help hide her blue skin and silver hair. He checked the window again. The street was empty, but Alex knew they had to move quickly and quietly. As they were getting ready to leave, Alex heard voices outside. He looked through the window and saw two men talking to Mrs. Reed. The men did not look like police. They wore dark jackets and kept looking at Alex's house. Alex whispered to Lyra, wait. He moved quietly to the back door. He peeked outside. The backyard was empty, so he waved to Lyra to follow him. They slipped out the back door and moved quickly through the alley. Lyra stayed close to Alex. She tried to walk like a human, but sometimes she stumbled. Alex held her hand, helping her move faster. They passed behind houses and jumped over a small fence. Alex's heart was beating fast. Every sound made him think someone was following them. After a while, they reached an old bus station. Alex bought 2 tickets to a small town near the forest. He paid with cash so no one would ask questions. Lyra sat quietly, keeping her head down, the scarf hiding most of her face. The bus arrived and they climbed in. There were only a few other passengers. Alex sat by the window and Lyra sat next to him. She looked out, watching the city fade away as the bus drove toward the countryside. On the way, Lyra whispered, "Thank you, Alex." Her voice was full of emotion. Alex smiled softly. "You are my friend now. I will help you." After an hour, the bus stopped at a small station near the forest. Alex and Lyra got off and walked toward the woods. The air was fresh and quiet. Birds were singing. Lyra looked around, amazed by the trees and the green grass. It was very different from the city. They walked for a long time. Lyra was tired, but she did not complain. She was happy to be away from danger, even if she was scared. Finally, they reached the old cabin. It was small and dusty, but it was strong and safe. Alex opened the door and let Lyra inside. There was a bed, a table, and a small fireplace. Alex closed the door and sighed with relief. Lyra looked around and smiled for the first time. "Safe?" she asked. Alex nodded. "Yes, no one will find you here." He made a fire and warmed up some soup. Lyra ate slowly, her eyes looking brighter than before. She seemed peaceful now. Alex felt happy too. For the first time, he thought, maybe they could really be safe. As the night came, they sat together by the fire. Lyra looked at Alex and spoke softly. "You are kind. I have no family, but you help me." Alex felt a deep sadness for her, but he also felt proud. "You are not alone now. I am your friend." Outside, the wind blew through the trees, but inside the cabin, it was warm and quiet. Lyra finally slept without fear, but as Alex watched her, he wondered if the city would ever stop searching. He knew the danger was not over yet. But for now, they had found a small piece of hope. The next morning, the sun was shining through the small window of the cabin. For the first time, Lyra slept peacefully. Alex made breakfast and watched her, feeling a little hope. But deep inside, he knew they could not stay hidden forever. After breakfast, Alex stepped outside to get fresh air. The forest was quiet, and birds sang in the trees. Alex breathed deeply and tried to relax. But as he looked down the small path leading to the cabin, he noticed fresh footprints, more than one person. His heart began to race. Someone had been here. Alex quickly went inside and locked the door. "Lyra, someone is near. We need to be careful," he whispered. Lyra's face turned pale with fear, but she trusted Alex. She helped him pack their small bag again, just in case they needed to run. Not long after, they heard voices coming from the trees. Alex looked out the window and saw two strange men with dark jackets searching the area. Behind them, another man was talking on a phone. Alex guessed they were looking for Lyra. Alex whispered, "We must leave now." Lyra nodded quickly. Together, they slipped out the back door and moved silently through the thick trees. Alex knew the forest well. He remembered secret paths from his childhood, small trails only he could find. They moved quickly, careful not to make any noise. But the men heard something and started to follow. One of them shouted, "Stop! Come out, we know you're here." Alex held Lyra's hand tightly and whispered, "Run!" Lyra ran as fast as she could, her breath coming quick and fast. Alex guided her through bushes and around fallen logs. The men were close behind, crashing through the trees. Lyra's scarf fell off, and her blue skin shone in the sunlight. One man saw her and shouted, "There she is, the alien. Catch her!" Panic filled Lyra's heart, but she kept running. Her legs were tired, but Alex kept encouraging her. "Just a little more, Lyra. We can do this." They reached a small stream. Alex remembered a hiding place under the roots of a big tree. He pulled Lyra down, and they crawled under the roots, hidden by leaves and mud. The men ran past, shouting and looking everywhere, but they did not see Alex and Lyra. For a few minutes, everything was quiet except for the sound of Alex and Lyra's heavy breathing. Lyra looked at Alex, her silver eyes full of tears. "They want to hurt me," she whispered. Alex put a hand on her shoulder. "I will never let them hurt you. You are safe with me." He wiped the tears from her face and smiled gently. After some time, when the voices faded away, Alex and Lyra crawled out from under the tree roots. They were dirty and tired, but still free. Alex knew they could not go back to the cabin. It was not safe anymore. They walked deeper into the forest, far from any road or path. Lyra was exhausted, but she did not give up. She trusted Alex completely now. As the sun started to set, Alex found a cave hidden behind thick bushes. He helped Lyra inside, and they rested in the darkness. Alex made a small fire to keep them warm. He gave Lyra water and a little bread. She ate slowly, still shaking from fear and running. Alex sat beside her and listened to the forest sounds wind in the trees. Birds singing, distant voices far away. Lyra whispered, "Why do they hate me? I only want to be safe." Alex did not have all the answers. People are afraid of what they do not know, But not everyone is bad. Some people can be kind too. Lyra nodded and tried to believe him. As night came, the forest became colder. Alex wrapped Lyra in the warm blanket and held her hand. They were tired, hungry, and scared. But Alex's promise never changed. He would protect Lyra. No matter what. In the middle of the night, they heard footsteps again. The men were searching, their flashlights moving through the trees. Alex and Lyra stayed completely still, not making a sound. The men came close, but did not see them. Soon, the voices and lights moved away, lost in the dark forest. Lyra let out a deep breath and looked at Alex with trust. "Thank you, Alex. You saved me again." Alex smiled, though he was tired. "You are not alone anymore, Lyra. We are in this together." Outside, the forest was dangerous, but inside the small cave, Alex and Lyra found a little peace and hope. The next morning, soft sunlight entered the cave. Lyra opened her eyes and saw Alex sitting near the fire, quietly thinking. The night had been cold, but inside the cave, they were safe for now. Outside, birds were singing, and the forest looked peaceful. Alex smiled when he saw Lyra wake up. He gave her some water and a little food. Lyra ate slowly, still tired, but more relaxed. For the first time since she had come to Earth, she did not feel afraid when she opened her eyes. She felt safe with Alex. They knew they could not stay in the cave forever. Alex decided to walk deeper into the forest with Lyra. Maybe they could find a new place to live, away from all the trouble. He wanted to give Lyra a real home, not just a place to hide. After some hours of walking, they reached a small valley with a stream and many trees around. In the middle of the valley, there was an old wooden cabin. It looked empty and forgotten, but the walls were strong, and the roof was still good. Alex checked the inside of the cabin. There was dust everywhere and some old furniture, but it was dry and safe. He smiled at Lyra. "We can live here, Lyra. This will be our new home." Lyra looked around with wide eyes. She walked slowly inside, touching the wooden walls and looking at the windows. She smiled. This was better than hiding in caves and running from danger. She whispered, "Home, I like this." Alex and Lyra worked together to clean the cabin. They opened the windows to let fresh air inside. Alex swept the floors while Lyra dusted the old chairs and table. Sometimes she would giggle at the way the dust flew around her blue fingers. Alex laughed too. For a little while, it almost felt normal, like they were just two friends making a new life. When the cabin was clean, Alex made a bed for Lyra with old blankets. He showed her how to use the fireplace for warmth. Lyra learned quickly and tried to help Alex as much as she could. Days passed peacefully in the new home. Alex taught Lyra simple words and how to cook basic food. Lyra loved learning and always listened carefully. She showed Alex some strange symbols from her necklace. Alex did not understand them, but he could see they were important to her. One evening, Lyra sat quietly by the window, looking at the stars. She spoke softly. "On my planet, I had a home, I had family. Now they are gone." Her voice was sad, but she tried to smile. "Now you are my family, Alex." Alex felt his heart grow warm. He reached over and put his hand on Lyra's shoulder. "You are not alone, Lyra. We are family now. This is your home." Lyra's eyes filled with tears, but these were not tears of fear. She was happy. She had lost so much, but she found kindness in this new world. She promised herself to never forget Alex's help. Sometimes, Alex worried about the people still looking for Lyra, but the valley was hidden and quiet. No one came near. They planted a small garden and found wild berries to eat. Lyra learned to make a simple soup, and Alex taught her how to fish in the stream. Every night, they sat by the fire and shared stories. Lyra told Alex about her world, how the skies were purple and the rivers glowed at night. Alex told her about his childhood and his family's old cabin trips. The more they talked, the closer they became. Lyra began to feel brave again. She was not just hiding anymore, she was living. She started to laugh more and even sing quiet songs from her home planet. Alex listened, feeling lucky to have such a special friend. One afternoon, Lyra made a small drawing with sticks and stones. In the dirt outside the cabin, she drew her old planet, her lost family, and now she drew Alex standing beside her. She smiled and called Alex to look. "This is my family now," she said proudly. Alex smiled back. He knew that he had done the right thing by helping her. In this quiet, hidden valley, he and Lyra had created something new, a place of safety, kindness, and hope. As the sun set behind the trees, Alex and Lyra stood outside their new home, watching. The sky changed colors. No matter what happened tomorrow, tonight they were together, and that was enough. Many weeks passed in the hidden valley. The days became warmer, and flowers began to grow around the new home. Lyra and Alex built a peaceful life together. They shared every meal, every story, and every hope. Far away from the city and the angry people, they found comfort in each other. Alex taught Lyra how to live like a human. He showed her how to plant seeds, fix broken tools, and cook food over the fire. Lyra learned quickly, always eager to help. Sometimes she would still look up at the stars, thinking about her lost family and her faraway planet. But she smiled more now. The fear in her eyes had almost disappeared. One evening, while Alex was fishing in the stream, he saw Lyra sitting by the water, holding her strange necklace. She looked deep in thought. Alex sat down next to her. Lyra spoke softly. "Alex, do you ever miss your family?" Alex nodded. "Yes, I do, every day. But now I have you. You are my family too." Lyra smiled, but her eyes were full of memories. "I thought I would never have a family again. I thought I would always be alone." She looked at Alex. "But you gave me a home. You made me feel safe." Alex gently touched her hand. "You are safe here, Lyra. I promise I will always protect you." Suddenly, a loud noise echoed from the edge of the forest. Alex stood up quickly. He saw a flash of movement between the trees. Someone was coming. Alex's heart pounded. He signaled to Lyra to hide inside the cabin. Alex watched from behind a bush as two city police officers slowly walked down the path. They looked tired, their uniforms dirty. One of them spoke. "No sign of the alien. Maybe she's gone." The other shook his head. "Keep looking. Orders are to search every valley." Alex stayed hidden, barely breathing. The officers came close, looking at the small garden and the smoke from the chimney. Lyra stayed quiet inside, trusting Alex's plan. Finally, after a long time, the officers left, disappearing into the trees. Alex waited a few more minutes, then ran back to the cabin. Lyra was safe. She hugged Alex tightly, shaking a little. From fear, Alex smiled and whispered, "It's okay. They're gone. We are still safe." Lyra looked at Alex with hope. "I was not afraid this time. I trust you, Alex." Alex felt proud. "You are strong, Lyra. Stronger than you think." That night, they sat by the fire and talked about their dreams. Lyra said, "Someday, maybe other people will understand. Maybe they will learn to be kind too." Alex nodded. "One day, the world will be different. But until then, we have each other." Lyra took off her necklace and placed it in Alex's hand. "This is special. On my planet, we give it to the person we trust most. I want you to have it." Alex held the necklace tightly. He felt tears in his eyes. "Thank you, Lyra. I promise to keep you safe always." Spring turned into summer. The valley was full of life. Animals came to drink from the stream, and flowers covered the hills. Alex and Lyra built a small garden, growing food together. Every night, they watched the stars and told stories. Sometimes, they still heard news about the search for the alien girl. But slowly the world forgot. People moved on to other things. No one ever found the hidden valley. One day, as the sun set in golden light, Lyra stood outside their home and looked at Alex. "You saved me, Alex. You changed my life. I will never forget your kindness." Alex smiled. "And you saved me too, Lyra. You gave me hope again." Hand in hand they walked to the stream and sat on the soft grass. Lyra looked at the sky, full of stars. She was not afraid anymore. She was home. As the night grew quiet, Alex made his promise again. "No matter what happens, I will always be here for you. You are my family." Lyra closed her eyes, feeling safe and loved. She whispered back, "And I will always be your family, Alex." In the peaceful valley, under the shining stars, their promise became their future, a future full of hope, kindness, and the courage to care for someone different. The end.